Before we begin this video, I recommend that you visit google.com and search for dinardata.com. This website is a great resource for the latest updates on Dinar Guru news, all conveniently located on one page. For more information, I encourage you to visit the site.
The 23, 24, 25 tripartite budget for investment, they haven't exposed it yet. Why not? Probably because it has an exchange rate sensitivity to it. Iraq has been secretly amending the budget in the background, preparing for this budget period and getting the budget done. After they approved it June 3rd, it was never really completed or published in the Gazette. They've been secretly amending it since that point forward. This investment has gotten real. Television is telling us if we make cash payments on bills, we will be charged an extra 5%. If we use our cards to make payments, we will not be charged 5% extra. Isn't that the opposite of normal ways of doing it? Frank, that is correct. You're going international. You have to use your cards. If you use cash, you'll be punished. Use your cards. Prime Minister, we support investments that aim to diversify the economy away from oil. The only problem we all have here in America, Canada, Australia, England or wherever, you have to find a way to exchange that big bills to smaller bills. I'm talking about Iraq dinars. You change the 25,000 to 500s. This how is going to be. They're going to have the 1s, 5s, 10s, 25s, 100s, 250s and 500s. That's what they're going to have. If you have 25,000, note, it's going to be 25,000 dinar. Al-Alak, we are constantly reviewing the deletion of zeros from the dinar, and there are no restrictions on our balances in America. In Iraq, pay attention to this one. Al-Alak, we are constantly reviewing the deletion of dinar zeros and there are no restrictions on the balances in America. That part no restrictions is telling us that Iraq is in charge of its own money. In this article, when you do a deep dive in it, they are doing exactly what they did in Kuwait with the terminology and phrasing and telling us it's time to remove those zeros. In Kuwait they greatly increased the value, they had to turn them in for lower denomination notes or deposit them in banks. Question: so we have to exchange our 25k notes for lower denoms before we exchange? Marks: no, that is how it worked in Kuwait. Alak is stating, we are constantly reviewing the deletion of the zeros from the dinar and there are no restrictions on our balances in America. So here again he's talking about deletion of the zeros in September 2024, just like he did back in July of 2023. Quote: the Central Bank of Iraq has reduced reliance on the US dollar in commercial transactions, according to the governor of the central bank, adding that the project to remove the zeros in Iraq is under continuous review and study at the bank. It's fascinating to see he's back beating the drum about deletion of the zeros. Next week they have stated they will be announcing the agreed upon actions for the US troop withdrawal. Mr. Sami says they are way ahead of what they are telling us, but they can't tell you everything. It's all for safety of our country, markets, speculators. Frank, there are many things happening right now that are extremely good for our investment. It may seem like it's so far away, but it's actually right in front of us. It's not a mirage and you are already touching it. This is concerning. Why do Iranian-backed militias keep targeting Israel? This information comes from 9 different sources. There are real missiles. This is a real news story. The Israeli Air Force successfully intercepted multiple aerial threats from Iraq. These included 2 cruise missiles, rockets, drones. Israel Defense Forces confirmed the interceptions with no targets breached Israeli airspace. The Islamic resistance in Iraq tied to Iran claimed responsibility. My concern is Israel will respond to Iraq in a harsh way. It does not matter who is launching the deadly missiles, the threat is coming out of Iraq. Here is the process of the reinstatement. Institute the reforms, the pillars of financial reform, banking, insurance, stock market, get rid of the parallel market and demand for the dollar through the black market, realize the central bank official rate of the dinar and overcome the dollar crisis. Be able to raise the official rate of the dinar against the dollar to a sustainable, realistic rate that reflects the true economy of Iraq, just over $1 in country, conduct the project to delete the zeros, decrease the monetary mass by collecting these large 3-0 notes, stashes/hoards of dinars and dollars. Swap out the currency, watch/monitor for inflationary pressures on the process, reinstate the IQD back to the global currency exchanges EEA. Forex. Not just a placeholder on Forex pointing to ISX but the ability of tradable buy and sell options. The Parliamentary Finance Committee confirmed, on Monday, that it is looking for alternative revenues for oil due to the fluctuations in its prices in global markets that are causing concern, renewing its assurances regarding securing monthly salaries. The head of the committee, Batwan al-Atwani, told Shafaq news agency, Iraq depends on oil to increase revenues, which is considered a basic source of financing the general budget of the Iraqi state, so non-oil revenues must be sought and maximized in the general budget. He added, the financial liquidity is available from the Central Bank of Iraq, and we need 8 trillion dinars to finance employees' salaries monthly.